Well, here we are. We're live tonight. I need to turn my phone down. And just tuning in with you all, we see some of you getting on YouTube and on Facebook. I'm going to turn this volume down a little. It's far more impromptu than it is on Sunday mornings. This is kind of the dive down for us. We got some special guests tonight. I don't know if you can see, but we've got this... we're doing live on a green screen that is a, let me see if I can unblur that. There you go. Lean that way, lean this way, lean that way, lean that way.
What?
And there you see we're on a beach. There's some rocks down there and there's a lighthouse back there, but we'll blur that out and just keep that nice and honest. A lot of people coming on and we don't have a lot to talk about. I was going to ask Caleb and Shelby some questions. And how long you guys been married, Caleb?
A year and a half.
A year and a half already. And so, Caleb and Shelby, where are you living at? Don't give your address away, but where are you living at?
We are living in Buster Allen's old house, renting from Linda Baker.
Bennettsville Road.
You just said don't give the address.
I didn't give the house address. It's fine.
Bennettsville Road's a long road.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're about 3 minutes from church. So we appreciate, when we were getting ready to get married, Linda called us where Shelby was renting. There had been an unforeseen problem, and she was going to have to move out. And Linda called us and gave us the opportunity to move here, and it's been a huge blessing for us starting off as a married couple.
It has. Mm-hmm.
So, and it's been really nice for the live streams as well.
Yes.
It has been nice for the live streams. I'm doing computer work. It has been good for the live streams. We were talking today about this being where Roger Allen and would have been Linda Allen at the time grew up as children. They canned goods and had stuff down here, and he built this house I think sometime in the 60s. And then probably about 20 years ago, I put a new panel and service on it, and then Buster and Norma attended our church. We were talking about Miss Norma today being one of the most humble women that we have ever met in the ministry, period, man or woman. And now we're in the basement of this house where I was thinking today, Buster and Norma, Noel and Irene Duwall, Jean and Mary McDonald, and then really probably the mover was Mr. and Mrs. Nunn, James Nunn, and they built our church in 1969. In 1969, they met in a house there, and then in 1974, they built our church. And so we're in his basement doing these live videos. All of our live stuff comes from here. Marcy will have a Bible study tomorrow night, and that will be at our house because she just likes the feeling of our house. Wednesday nights are at our house. But our other live stuff is done down here where we have this green screen. Let me see if I can pop that up. I know when I do that, that's not going to work. All right, let me move this.
It's an up close and personal.
Yeah. Let me turn off the background. Bam. So we're just setting in front of a green screen. Let me move back to our regular camera. There we are. And so doing those things as well. Does yours seem to be laggy, Caleb?
Just a little here or there. So it's spotty.
All right.
Are you going at 1080?
Yeah, I'm pushing at 1080.
I'm going to drop it, maybe.
I don't think I can drop it once I'm inside of it. Nope. Nope, it's locked in. So you can message us. Is it choppy to you guys, not smooth? Because we can go off and come right back on. But how did you guys meet one another? Stalking?
No, it
No
wasn't
stalking?
stalking.
Okay.
I met you first.
I met Marcy stalking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a stalker.
Dad, I guess the long version, Dad started subbing at Borden High School.
Mm-hmm.
And met Shelby there. Formed a friendship there. Shelby started coming
Hey,
to the.
let's stop a minute. Is your TV on?
Nope.
So nothing's on? Nope. We're just glitchy.
Yep.
Now I'm having a coughing fit.
All right, let's do this. If you're watching, I'm going to finish this, and we're going to move it to 720p, and we're going to come right back live. You'll have to refresh and find us, and so we can smooth it up. The auto is clear. You all just like robots. All right, so we're going to cut it off and come right back on.
I don't want to be a robot.
Do you want me to go see if my phone has our Wi-Fi on it?
All right, we're back, and so that'll hopefully help the stream a little bit. You can find us. Me and Caleb will start texting. Let's see, what is that telling me? Stream audio. Back, bam, they're back online. Facebook's up. Broadcast is interrupted. YouTube is up on my personal page. All right, type in.
Hey, Marsha.
Is this our new one? 17 seconds. All right.
Wayne says
Hello again.
Hello. Do you like my hat? I do not like it.
Yeah, YouTube is back up, Abby.
Thank goodness we're back up. There's a little bit of applause and a bicycle horn for you. But we are.
Hey, Riley.
We're back. We are back up. All right. Hi, Riley C. Much more perfect. Thanks, Doug.
We don't look like robots anymore,
man.
I hope.
That was crazy. Brought to you by Dr. Pepper and diet if you're overweight.
Oh my gosh.
It hears everything you say.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All right, so you were asking them how they met.
All right. So how did you guys meet? Where did we leave off?
I left off. Shelby had started coming to the college age Bible studies, and she got saved there. We were at the church for probably a year before
Yeah.
anything kind of happened.
We started horseback riding.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, what started our, we've always had horses growing up, but what started the love and the interest for it, Grace, after Shelby had gotten saved, Grace wanted a horse. So we went with Shelby a couple places looking at horses and rode some horses. Grace got a horse, then that's where I ended up with Smokey, who some of you all have seen and know. And she really pushed our horse interest, I guess. And we started riding a lot.
I blossomed it.
Yeah, we started riding a lot.
Yeah.
She was around a lot. She became, she was around a lot.
We
And,
invited her and Sydney and Emily to all of our bonfires that we
Yes, yes. The bonfires got me to their house because I love bonfires. So that piqued my interest.
So Dad had poked at me here or there. Dad always did that. I mean, that's part of growing up, I think. But, asking him, was I interested in dating Shelby? And it happened at Dunkirk, sort of, kind of. That was a very confusing night. We were at one of the cowboy camps, and me and Dad were up late one night. My mind was racing, and I was talking with Dad about me and Shelby. Is there something there? Should I wait? What's the next step?
Mind you, at the same time, I went to the bathroom and I was talking to Savannah.
Getting
I'm
there.
sorry.
It just picks us up right there.
Oh, okay.
And so
Marcy does the same thing. She thinks if she yells at you, you'll be able to hear her through the camera.
It's because we have to talk louder to talk over you all because you all don't
Yeah.
have us talk.
That's right.
Yeah, we're the run on sentence
Come
guys.
on.
Oh man.
But anyways, we had came out of the bathroom and got to talking, and he said, well, if we bump into her, do you want to say something? And I was like, I don't know. And about that time, the ladies' restroom door opened, and Shelby walked out, and she tried to hurry and sneak by.
I
And,
got real nervous.
yeah.
I was trying to run up the stairs.
And Dad stopped her, and we talked, and like, I really don't know where we finished that night, like if we were dating or friends or not. And I think it was about 2 weeks later, I finally told her like, hey, I would like to date. I'd like to start a relationship, and it went from there. So
Wow, that was a lot more than I expected.
yeah,
That was a Shelby answer.
That was a Shelby.
It was a good answer.
It was a good answer.
We had him on here to ask him questions.
If you are in a relationship with a short version, because I tell Marcy all yes or no questions when you're talking to Facebook, but where did you meet? Just put the place down where you met. That's it. And then we'll see else. Wayne says, Wayne just got a bag of confidence. First bag of confidence tonight. Bam, I'm going to have to move that out of our eyeballs. What in the world? And so we're going to lock that up down here. How sweet. Wayne with the first bag of confidence. Wayne, I appreciate that comment.
the problem is I'm a very emotionless person. So for us, it was like I walked out and said, hey, you want to date? And that's kind of how it went. So
Marcia says, how adorable.
Oh,
Mhm.
Barbara.
Yep.
She
Fashion
came
shop
after
at
me.
Green Tree Mall.
Oh
That's
my
hilarious.
gosh, John, that's insane.
That-
Were you working?
No,
So-
we didn't work at fashion
No,
shop.
John Cordy's a police officer. He was probably doing security.
Okay, I was like, only
So-
women work at fashion.
Maybe.
Amos, I'm not sure. Amos,
Don't
I'm not
say
sure
no.
I believe that one.
I think it was the other way
She
around.
tracked me down.
I
Are
think
you
Amos
kidding?
tracked her down. Let's be real.
Where did Wayne and Abby? Why does Doug want to?
I know where they met.
No,
No.
you gotta be quiet. What in the world?
I just found this out.
Yes.
That's why they're
John-
not responding.
John
Oh, okay.
Cordy was working. Where did Wayne and Abby meet?
They don't want you to tell them.
Okay, and so John Cordy says yes. He was working. Caitlin and I met online.
He was
Clinton
working
Tishner.
security.
Yep, security. See, I
Okay,
know my
okay.
peoples, and
Okay.
so yep, that's what I figured.
Wayne and Abby.
Let's revisit
Wait.
this one right here. I don't know who else
Which
is
one?
watching from
Wayne
California,
and Abby met at a dance.
but can
There you go.
anybody corroborate this? She came after me, tracked me down. Aaron, is that the same story that you're hearing
When you were in California.
about Amos in that answer there? So, where did they meet? Did you get any YouTube answers at all? None?
Mm-mm.
Who you got on there?
Riley.
Oh, and
Maybe
yeah,
Riley
Wayne said
would.
hey.
Aw, Wayne and Abby met about 10 feet from where Laura and Doug met. I didn't know
What in
that.
the
Oh,
world?
that's so sweet.
Passed me up. I didn't see Grandma.
You know that place closed down, and I couldn't go there. At
Did
the
Aaron
time,
say
I was
I
upset.
passed him up?
No, your mom. They met on a bus.
Oh, there we go. We met on a school
I didn't
bus.
see it, but that's-
Where at, Mom? I think that was at Carr Township school.
Township.
Oh, yeah.
They had a bus depot there, but my mom and dad met on a school bus.
And I do know part of this story. She walked up to the secretary at the school and she said, "Do you see that man, boy right there?" And she said, "Yeah." And your mom said, "I'm going to marry him someday."
Aw,
Sounds
that's
exciting.
sweet.
It must be genetic.
It must be genetic.
Abby likes coyotes.
Okay.
Oh,
so-
she answered.
Hey, you met at Coyotes. Jenny Craig, you and Mitch met at Kroger.
So Jenny,
What in the world?
Jenny worked.
My
at
mom was in the
Kroger.
7th grade. Oh
Jenny
my
worked
gosh.
at Kroger with Mitch's brother,
Oh,
and so
yes.
Mitch came through her
Jenny,
register. Or
I cannot
something.
believe that you wanted to meet Mitch after you met Brian.
Oh my gosh. So, mom met dad in 7th grade. Amos gives one of these book
That's
things that I will say, that's why I say yes and no questions only. I friended her on Facebook, me and her church, then I unfriended her 30 minutes later thinking she didn't see it.
Oh, no! He
Then
tried
she
to
messaged
backpedal.
me a few days
I
after
didn't know
Facebook,
Amos
so
was
he
that
initiated
insecure.
contact. Oh my goodness.
Did you?
No, I've seen him
I had
sing.
no
He ain't
idea.
secure about nothing. John Corney, Elena had no interest in me. He was just being nice, talking to me. And of course, being a guy, I thought she liked me. Yeah. we met through a friend. So Jennifer, where you're in Derek's relationship, a blind date, Carrie and Willis have a cool story. Carrie, if you're on, let's hear your story.
I
Quit
know their
trolling me
story.
about my Dr. Pepper.
I know their
And
story
let's
too,
find
but
out
we'll save Carrie.
where Carrie and Willis met.
Hey,
And,
Evan.
Carrie, don't be afraid to say where that was at. Evan says hi. Hey, Evan.
Hi, nephew Evan.
How are you doing? So,
Thank my dog.
if you could, let's play it this way. Millicent 3 times before he realized he met me. He pays attention to detail.
What?
He just is highly detailed. He's always noticing what's going
I've
on.
seen you before.
Jenny said, "Yes,
So-
Marcy." I said, "You look like Brian."
Which one?
He was annoyed.
So, Carrie, can I give?
I'm from Indiana and Will's from Michigan, and we met in Oklahoma.
Oh my word! I
That's
didn't know
hilarious.
that.
Sounds like a country song. Must have been a broke down car in that mess. How old, Nancy, were you and Will when you all met? Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to ask Carrie if I could.
Bam! With the second bag of confidence.
They had an arrangement.
They had an arranged marriage, or maybe manipulated. I've spent time around
Carrie,
Susan, and she has a way with
She's
people.
gonna step in.
Listen.
Let her talk.
So, Carrie, you can correct me if I get any of this wrong. So, Linda and Susan worked together, and they both had said that they would love for their kids to meet, but they went to different schools, and but they had talked about that, how neat it would be if their kids could meet and date. I don't know if they talked about marriage or not. So then Willis and Carrie were at a party, a very nice party with nice people and nice things going on. And their friends introduced them. I believe Jamie was with her. But they ended up being introduced. So they actually met on their own and then somehow figured out who each other was. And then Linda and Susan got super excited about it.
So it all worked out.
Yeah.
And now they have 3 kids.
And Carrie, you were in the top 3 people that Alan has interrogated where I was absolutely mortified. Top 3.
Top 3.
What are the others?
I think Carrie might actually be number 1.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Poor Carrie.
She was just trying to make her feel better. Linda and I are.
But we prayed a lot. It was all the Lord.
I
It was
knew
His
it.
fault.
Carrie, if I got
They
any of
said-
that wrong, you can correct me.
They said, "Jesus, take the wheel,"
Yes.
and the rest is history.
Dan the man.
Hi, turkeys. Hey, Dan, did you like that turkey video?
You know,
On Facebook with Nathan
Dan,
and I.
man.
Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead, babe.
No.
You know what?
no.
All right. So here's the next question. Thinking about where people met. Don't ever bet Willis do anything to Carrie for food because he will. Whenever.
What
They're
is
gonna-
any man? do
I'm
that?
honored about being
So
Yes.
so a funny story too with Carrie and Willis is that when Alan and I found out, how old was Willis? In the care, was he 16 maybe?
What are you asking? When he got his driver's license?
No, when they met. And so Alan and I got all concerned. He'd met this girl. It was not going to be good for him because girls are trouble for teenage boys, right? Boys are trouble for teenage girls. And so we were worried. We were like,
Am I Moses?
and we were like, oh my gosh, who is this girl? And so then we were afraid that she would wreck Willis's life. And I think Carrie has been probably the best thing that has ever happened to Willis.
Oh man.
So sweet.
Behind Jesus.
And vice versa.
And
Yes,
Me.
that's all we. No, not you, but Jesus.
Oh,
yes. We met at the
17. That was awesome. Yeah, good video. Katie Lettingham is watching. Katie, how much longer before you're in the house? That's what we all want to know. Or is Andrew tired?
Oh.
That's what I want to know.
Amos asking about camels.
Did Marcy bring your camel's water at the local well?
That's how you
Oh,
all
Rebecca.
met. Yeah. Rebecca.
Rebecca,
What's her name?
We met at IUS.
What was it, Rebecca?
That's Indiana University Southeast.
Everywhere I look,
That's
she
where I
was
went to college,
stalking
by
me.
the way.
Yeah.
Just saying.
All right.
Amos, if you had to pick, did I stalk Alan or did Alan stalk me? Who would you pick?
Amos, there's a boys' code. I just want you to know. Oh my gosh, Carrie was like the most.
But we didn't know.
We didn't know
They
that.
met
anything
at
about Carrie.
17.
We didn't know that.
They met at 17.
Yeah. Once we got to meet her, we were fine. That it really mattered what we thought.
So there's a lot of
We
people
just
getting
left it
on.
to say.
Cheryl Meyer and Marlene Morris. Hey, Marlene. Jerry Cook is getting on. Kim Sloan, or Kim Sloan Holland is on. Junie Blair McCargu and just all kinds of people. Jeff met me in 4th grade and told me then he would marry me.
I've heard that.
Their story is like
that
the
is
sweetest
like-
ever. Every time I'm like, oh my gosh, Jeff and Annie.
Jeff told
That
me,
is so
Annie,
sweet.
Jeff told me just a couple months ago, we were at the store talking, and he said he was talking about guys being scared to talk to girls, and he said there was only one girl that I was ever scared to talk to in my whole life, and I was like, who? And he said, Annie. And I was
So
like,
sweet.
oh.
I love it every time I hear it. Oh.
And he also said you're the most beautiful girl that he's ever met in his life. He said that.
Like Amos is coming.
What did he put? I probably shouldn't ask
What?
Yeah, this is pretty.
That's pretty much what happened, Amos.
His girlfriend from now on.
That's kind of how it happened.
He gave
really.
me his sweatshirt and marked his territory with the sweatshirt, and that was it.
It's live TV.
That's what you did. You gave me your sweatshirt.
Hey,
'cause you were
Kevin
outside.
Kirkeshner, and he lies all the time. Is he talking about Jeff? Yes, she must be talking about Jeff because I never lie. So, don't know why I had that moment of fear that maybe she was talking about me. So, hey Ed, how did you and Linda meet? Where did you meet Ed and Linda
I know
Thomas?
this one
That's
too.
what we're asking.
I know where they
This
met.
Oh, you guys are
I'm
ruining the
slacking.
fun.
I'm not going to tell. I just said I know.
All right, here's the next question. So I was thinking about this today. If money wasn't an issue, like you got your full government reimbursement check or whatever they're calling stimulus package check, and it was about $5,000. Let's say it was about $5,000. Where would you take a vacation to when this COVID-19 stuff is over? Where would you go? Caleb, where would you go? You can't say to my basement to play computer games.
He won't be able to answer it.
I don't have a place marked. I'd probably go back out west. Ride 4 was in Utah, or Shelby like to go to Colorado, and that'd be a lot of fun.
That's west.
Never been. My dad's going to Wyoming next week.
Mm.
I'm jealous.
Hey, Pastor Russ, where do you want to go if you could go? Where would you go?
I would go to Colorado or Utah. Out west. Yeah, because I've
That
never
would
been.
be good. Doug said, "Gun world." Bam,
Hey,
Montana.
yes, for sure.
Montana is beautiful, but this is my favorite answer: Gun World. And Doug, what would you buy there? That's what I want to know. So Katie would go to Montana. Where would you go?
I would take you elk hunting.
That's so bad.
She'd go to Florida in a heartbeat.
Whatever.
She wouldn't
She
even
would
think
go
about
to the
it.
beach. She wouldn't think twice.
Pearl Harbor. That would be a
He
good
was just
place to
talking about
go.
that the
Yeah,
other day.
we watched a movie the other night. What was that called? What was that movie called?
You
Pearl
know,
Harbor?
No, good try.
Midway.
Though. Midway.
We haven't
And,
seen it yet. No spoilers.
That's a good documentary. If you have kids at home, you may have to check the language stuff. But Grandma and Grandpa liked each other at age 9, got married at 17 and 18, married 60 years. Yeah.
That's cool.
Married for 60 years. And those were my grandparents, Charlie and Teeny Lee. And we've lived around them most of our life. Eric said he would go to Utah. Cordy said, but I will have to borrow.
He said Costa Rica up there.
Oh,
Costa Rica.
Lapa Rios, Costa Rica. We've been to Costa Rica, but we were in central Costa Rica and preaching at some orphanages. And we got to see part of the country, but we really didn't get to explore the country. Lisa would go to Hawaii.
New Zealand would be.
Hawaii would be a
Yeah,
beautiful
New
place to
Zealand's
be.
beautiful.
Lisa, I don't know that Scotty would go. He couldn't drive there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, New Zealand, I saw a documentary on that last week,
Would-
and it looked beautiful. Yes.
I'm hearing that plane tickets right now are real cheap, John.
Cruises.
If you want to go out there, yeah, or you could take a cruise. Savannah would go to a country with an I, but she don't know which one.
Ireland or Iceland.
Or Iceland.
Sydney
SIG
wants to go to
P226. Hey, Doug, look into that SIG P365.
I honestly have no idea where I would go.
All right. Darcy said she would go to Hello, and I'm not sure where that's at.
She
Hey,
didn't get the
Darcy,
question.
we're talking about where we would go if we could take $5,000 of stimulus money and go somewhere
So-
after this is over.
Clinton says they would go to Canada to see multiple hockey games. Clinton, Zach, and Jenna love
Yes.
hockey.
After
as
this
well.
is over, Clinton, you should get a hold of Zach, and you and Caitlin could go up there and stay with them and go to a hockey game. That'd be fun. That'd be a fun trip.
They have
Nancy
a minor
says-
league team up there, Clinton, that they go to see games all the time up there.
Oh my gosh.
Nancy says Hawaii.
Hawaii or Alaska. Those are on opposite ends of the spectrum.
Both beautiful though.
Yeah.
I'll tell you where I want to go.
Where do you want?
I would like to fly into Anchorage, Alaska, and that's where that 9-foot bear is.
You've
I've
talked about
always
that
wanted
for
to go up
years.
there and see that thing,
John Cordy.
but I'd like to just make that trip.
Bungalow.
They have bungalows in the rainforest. That's Marcy has seen some of those commercials where they just have the beaches and like the bungalows are out in the water and the water is blue, and that's Marcy's thing.
It's I can't remember where it's called.
And all the souvenirs.
Katie said 5,000 wouldn't be enough for Ireland.
No, probably
I just
not.
said it. It was just a nefarious number.
Well, first you
I like-
said if money wasn't an option, and then you said 5,000, and I said, well, then money's an option.
I like Aaron's.
Yeah, but you have to think when you have kids, you don't have money. So you know
See.
that we're just pretending. Iceland per Secret Life of Walter Mitty, dude. What? How cool
What
was
on?
that? That is cool. Hey Candace, how are you doing? Back to Kiribati, where I was a missionary.
That's
Yep.
cool.
That was the pictures were neat, but how hot was it there, Candace? Hot all the time. Somebody says Aaron and I are going to go for our 10-year anniversary.
They
Good-
Only
start
5
saying-
more years.
Let me say this: good luck, good luck. Who's
Hi,
going to keep your
Robin.
kids?
Robin wants to go on an Alaskan cruise.
Robin
So,
wants to go on an Alaskan cruise.
Robin, I had just gotten over my whole I would never go on a cruise ever because my whole thing was like Titanic. I just couldn't get that out of my mind. And so I finally got over that in the last couple of years. I told Alan, let's take an Alaskan cruise. And now all those people got trapped on those cruise ships and they wouldn't let them off. I don't think I'm ever going to get on a boat.
Mark Bledsoe told me that was just coincidence.
Mm.
He said that they've been on plenty. You might have talked me into going on a cruise eventually.
They
What?
said we
All
have
right,
friends,
let's-
the Bledsoes, and they've been on tons of cruises.
Trying
And
to
they say
keep
that the
Jennifer
Alaskan
was
cruise,
Alaskan
Scotland.
cruise.
Yeah,
So
that's
Jenny would
pretty
go
too.
to Scotland.
Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about that the other night. I've seen that bear. Candace says she's seen that bear. Abby says Hawaii to the beach. Wayne can go to Pearl Harbor. They got to be beaches at Pearl Harbor. There's water everywhere.
Clark says, "What did I walk?
What
in
did
on?"
I walk in on? We're talking about if you could take your stimulus money. Let's say it's not 5,000.
Let's say
It's
10.
unlimited.
Let's
You've got
say it
all
was
the money.
unlimited.
Okay.
Let's not get silly because people are going to be like, to the moon. First person that says to the moon, I'm cutting you off the feed. So the reasonable amount of money, you could go anywhere that you wanted on vacation after coronavirus is over.
John Cordy
Where would
says
you go?
Bora Bora. That's the place I was trying to come up with.
Bora
Greece.
Bora, yeah.
Abby wants to go to Greece.
Or Greece, yeah.
That's cool.
It's called Reese. There's no G's
Greece.
in Greece.
Ethan Ball told Aaron to get rid of the kids.
Get rid of the kids. What'd he say? Yeah. Bora Bora.
That's the bungalow.
That's a
on the water.
bungalow. I would go to Germany.
Is that Josh talking or Darcy?
What in the world? Darcy, what would you want to go see in Germany? Pam says she'd go to Israel. My great grandfather went and told stories.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been talking
I
about
wanna go
taking
there.
an Israel trip, and I maybe have a chance to go,
When?
not this year, or maybe next year. So those plans have been ex-nayed. 80, 90 years, around 12 hours of sunlight. Oh, degrees, 80, 90. Sunlight year-round, too. Gosh, man, those are...
12 hours of sunlight? That sounds really nice.
Clark
Okay,
says
plan to go
he
to
had
Germany.
plans to go to Germany in September. Do you think those plans are still going to work out? Robin says, let's go together. We might make a trip. We've got a couple in
If
our
I
church.
can get over it, I don't know.
We got a couple in our church that goes on a cruise every month. And they're always trying to talk us.
I can't believe they
to
can
go
trap
and do
people
that.
on a boat.
Amos says, yes, it's been too long. Doug says, Clark, we signed you up to pay for Alan and Marcy's vacation. We are voting on where you are sending them.
That was good. That was good.
To the moon.
Clark says, to the moon. Clark,
Don't
French.
take him off.
We have your break still. And so you be careful how you treat me.
Aaron has it.
Yeah.
You might not get it back.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It might be buried in a garage. Sorry, Aaron.
It did really good
Forgot
work
you're
for
on
us.
here.
Carrie says, my bucket list definitely Bora Bora for an over-water bungalow, but the kids have to be grown. Yeah. Josh Goonan says, Viking River cruise through Europe. That would be awesome.
That
That
is
is
something
cool.
I have seen that, like, other than the Alaskan cruise, I've seen those, and those look really neat, Josh.
Never heard of it. Ethan's in for Israel. Yes.
Alaska
Alaska
cruise,
cruise.
Holland America
Holland.
from Anchorage to Vancouver is the best cruise of my life. Don't live in fear, Marcy.
You
You
would
would love
love
it. I think.
Lisa's a go-getter.
Yeah. I was in fear, and then I was out of fear, and then I jumped back into fear.
If you went with Lisa, you
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm in for Israel. That may be a trip. Israel is great. Amos
Yeah, he
just
did
went.
just go.
Darcy said, I took German in high school, and it would be interesting. Or Hawaii. Yeah, Germany, because I know German, or this cool place called Hawaii.
My
Where
cousin
it's the
actually
beauty
lives
south.
in Germany right
Ooh,
now
with
with
the
the
seasonal
Army Corps of
seasonal
Engineers,
basketball.
and she
Yeah.
loves it.
Yeah, it would be.
My aunt and uncle are worried that she may never come back to America to live.
Clark says, I have enough money to get them to Clifty Falls.
There's a pool
Right,
there.
yeah.
I mean,
They've been on many cruises, have been everywhere except Hawaii. Yeah, that's Hawaii cruise, 15-day. That's it, Hawaii cruise. I don't think so. Too hard to plan right now. Yeah, I'm telling you that
oh, Mindy.
trip to Germany. What's in Germany, Clark? What language are you going to speak in Germany, Clark? French? What's in Germany that you were going to see? Mindy says, go on a cruise, Marcy, you will love it. Clark says, speaking of break, I need that Wednesday.
I'm gonna need that.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
gonna need that Wednesday.
He wants to be off Wednesday.
Good luck. I'm single, so maybe my 5,000 would cover more than one place. Want to
It's true.
Aw.
go?
To all the
Want to go to
places.
all the places? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Riley says to
Colorado.
Colorado for what? What would be in Colorado? I really want to go on an elk hunt, but I told Mom the other day I would like to start out west and come this way and do the Grand Slam and get all 4 different species of turkeys on the way back home to Indiana.
Didn't Nash Summers go on an elk hunt?
Nash Summers did get an elk last year.
Where did he go? Where was it?
Vietnam.
Yep. I don't know how hard it would
To
be.
go back to Okinawa.
Yeah, to go back to
Mhm.
Japan. I wouldn't mind going there. We've had lots of military friends that are stationed there, and just
Natalie.
I think
She
I would
wants
just
to
like to come home at this
home.
point.
Really?
Yep,
We'd like for you
Okinawa.
to come home too.
Yep. I was born in Japan. My dad was in Vietnam, and so I would like to go back to Japan, to Okinawa, but I'm sure it's far different now
Okinawa was a second list.
than it is. Living in San Diego is a vacation every day. Living this
actually-
far away from you is a vacation every day. What's- I am your father-in-law. Don't say that I say mean things.
Karen has a brother-in-law in Germany.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that would be cool. I've heard
They
they
have
have.
their own tour guide. So they get all the
Do-
ins and outs.
Do they? Yeah.
There's something that they do, some fest that they have.
They do have
The
a lot
German
of.
fest.
They do have a lot of bear in Germany. I like to go over there and hunt some. All right. So,
What else?
what else? What else we got going on? We thought Annabelle would be in our live video, but she's laying over here
Just
out.
crashed.
Oh,
You come see us, Annabelle? Come here. Come here.
It is the perfect.
It is the perfect distance. Yeah. Yep. We miss you, Amos. We're ready for you to come and
she's
see
big.
us.
She's getting big. Look at her. She's so cute.
She needs a haircut.
Yeah, she does. But she's so soft, though.
Yep.
She's my little running buddy. So,
That's-
Natalie, when you come home, you can run with me and Annabelle.
That's our grand dog.
Yeah.
That's no.
We're up
that's
to
weird.
like 5 miles now. But She does good. My jogging, though, is like her power walk. So it's
you
not too
going?
bad for her. I think she's tired.
She wants to.
She never lays with Caleb.
She's laying
out.
on the
She
on the
quit.
table. That's
Where
Where
did-
did Mindy and Josh meet?
Oh,
Mindy,
good
where did you guys
question.
meet at?
I know.
What's the lighthouse behind you? It's
Jesus.
our green screen here. Caleb, lean to your left, and you can see it.
And then the rocks. See
Yeah.
the rocks?
Yeah, the
There's
rocks.
lots of rocks
Oh, and okay
down
over
here
there.
as well. It's just a green screen, a background.
Yes.
It's like I'm in Outer Banks, though.
I like the lighthouse that randomly
Okay.
keeps growing out of Caleb's head. Yeah.
Wrong.
Hmm.
She's just tired.
I'm trying to remember how Mindy and Josh met.
I love
It must be
Oxen.
Maine. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very possible that is
Ah.
Maine. I love those. Congrats on the sweet granddog. Yeah. Well, we are in the process
Fort Knox,
of
Kentucky.
Y'all meet there.
just praying about
I'm trying to remember.
how we're going to get back to church, how long that will be, and how that will work out. We're praying about who's going to come. Aaron preached our drive-in last night, and that was awesome, and
So,
we had a
hey,
great
hey.
crowd. Hey, hey, hey!
Hey.
And so we're looking forward to keeping that going for the time being. Doing this, I said this I think last week. If any of the ladies that are watching tonight are interested in being a part of Marcy's Bible study tomorrow night, that's at 6:00 at our house, and you will have to message me on Facebook to add you to that group. And then we're back Wednesday night at our house, and then carrying on. So we appreciate the prayers. We appreciate the just the support, the energy that's still taking place. I know there's it feels like we're doing stuff, but nobody's doing anything, and so we're just waiting to get plugged back in so we can get back to church. Last week we asked for favorite quotes, and I got a bunch of good quotes. This week I would like to ask for, and not everybody's going to have one, and that's okay, but if you have a favorite verse, a favorite life verse, or a favorite thing that Jesus said, what would that be? Why don't you put that up as we're going, and we'll read some of them, and we can discuss some of them too. It says, "Can I be?" Or yeah, I can. Candace, you need to just message me on Facebook Messenger, and then I will add you to the group. Aaron did an amazing sermon. Yes, it was good, very good. And little is much when God is in it. And so, very good message out of Proverbs 30, I believe.
Yes.
So, thankful for that message, and thankful for all the preaching that's going on right now. Candace said, "Yes, sir." All right. What is your favorite Bible verse, or do you have a life verse? What's your favorite Bible verse, babe?
I have more than one favorite Bible verse, but my life verse is "Here am I, send me."
All right, and that is in
Oh my word, Jeremiah,
Isaiah.
Isaiah, or Jeremiah.
Yep, it's in Isaiah.
Yeah, I get Isaiah. I get verses. There are so many verses in Isaiah and Jeremiah that I have memorized that I have trouble keeping track of which is where. But I remember years ago, our pastor, before you were pastor, he asked us like if we had a life verse, and I had never even thought about that, and really got to thinking about it and praying about it, and just thinking if I had a life verse, what would it be? And ended up picking, was reading, and just picked that verse because I'm so apt to come out of my comfort zone. That if the Lord ever asked me to do something, I would want to go. I would want to go wherever He sent me.
So I see a bunch of people are signing on: Penny Keith and Bob Sigiani and Tim Fowler and Shaughnessy Coomer, and we're asking for like a favorite Bible verse, a favorite life verse, or maybe even a motto that you have kind of a creed, a motto that you've kind of lived by. There are going to be some people that don't have a favorite Bible verse, but what is something that maybe your grandpa, your dad, now you just kind of live by. What are some of those verses, sayings, or creeds? Put some up. We don't have a lag where I can X-nay them, so no cuss words, no profanity, no perversion. Just what are some of those? Caleb? Do you have a favorite verse?
If I had to pick verse, it's probably Romans 12:1. I like books. The book of James always challenges me, and the first part of Romans of Romans 12 always seems to push me a little. I love book of James is what I love the book of James.
Karen says that hers is forgive them for they know not what they do. Gosh, it's a good one for me because I struggle with forgiveness. Absolutely. Mindy, what does Jeremiah 29:11 say without us looking it up? Deuteronomy 5:29. Oh, that there is such a heart in them that they would fear me and keep all my commandments always, that it might be well with them and with their children forever. Yep, very good verse. Haley says Jeremiah 29:11 as well. So we're gonna see what that is. Mine is Romans 12:1. I don't know if that's why Caleb's is, or he's had such an influence of that, but it says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, present your body a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Lord. It's your reasonable service. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that is always been kind of my favorite verse. I'm probably a Galatians 5:1 guy as well. Stand fast in the liberty where Christ hath made you free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. And so I like that verse as well. Drew Dixon, what is your favorite? Drew, what is your life verse? That's what we're talking about. I'm looking up. Let's see.
No.
For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end.
And
so I don't have a specific life verse. Romans 12:1 is one of my favorite verses of many. I really like the book of James. But one proverb that always comes back to my mind is Proverbs 17:22. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones. I go back to that quite a bit. And then also Psalms 23, which is the shepherd's psalm. That's one of my favorite psalms.
Lisa's asking if she's lost audio.
Got it.
You've got audio. I've got audio as well. Lisa, you may refresh your computer.
You're in Ohio. You might just have to turn it off and turn it back on.
Carrie, her Psalms 28:7. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My
I
heart
got it
trusteth
up on
in
the
him,
screen too.
and I am helped.
Candace says, I love that verse in Deuteronomy. I just imagine what it'd be like if it was close, walking with God as well with me and my family. Yeah. What else? What kind of creed or motto? Bob, I know you've got sayings. What's something or a creed or motto? Erica, Erica Price King. We're talking about what's your favorite, like life verse, Bible verse, like a creed or motto that you have lived by, or maybe your dad or your mom or grandparents said that you kind of guide you and helps you through troubled waters. Steve Williams is watching. Kim Payton is watching. Kim and Steve, we're talking about life verses or a creed or something that you live by. Mindy says, Nahum says, the Lord is good, a strong hold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust him. Mm-hmm. Amen. That's a good verse too. What is, as people are scrolling them up, what is something that you would either like to ask our special guests or us as a group? What's something that's on your mind within reason? Haley says, let me roll hers up there because it's off of YouTube and that'll be a little bit different. Says, my favorite is 1 Peter, be sober, vigilant, because the adversary door of a roaring lion walked about seeking whom he may devour. Mm-hmm. Yep, and he's always looking for somebody to eat up. Aaron's is Isaiah 43:2, and that is, when thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shalt the flame kindle upon thee.
That's a good one.
And
Tons of good verses.
That is a good one.
Isaiah and Jeremiah are two of my favorite books.
You know, a lot of those verses talk about the Lord being a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. You know, and in Isaiah is an interesting book, period, to study in the Bible, because the first 5 chapters are introduction. And it's not really until chapter number 6 that Isaiah gets his, the Lord really speaks to Isaiah, and Isaiah returns in speech. And in chapter number 6, it paints the picture that it's as if God is turning to Christ, and He says, "Who will go for us, and who shall we send?"
And he says, "Here."
And Isaiah says, "Here am I, send me." And then take that live coal and touch to his tongue, and Isaiah says, "I am a man of unclean lips." And God uses Isaiah to write the rest of that book, and it's an incredible prophecy book. Eric says the only one I have heard as a kid was "God is good all the time." Yeah, we kind of have that thing. I mean, and a lot of churches do, where you say, "I will say God is good," and the church kind of responds
all the time.
All the time. Amanda and Brandon, and I'm assuming that might be Carissa, but could be John. We're just talking about maybe a life verse that you have, and or a creed or a motto or something that you live by, and people are posting those up. If you're seeing those, Abby's studying 2 Timothy. I've been preaching through a lot of 2 Timothy recently.
That's what we were doing. Well, we were doing 1 Timothy.
Yeah.
1 Timothy, yeah.
With God, all things are possible. Matthew 19:26. Lisa put that up, and that's a good verse. We are more than conquerors through Christ who loved us. Yet all things are possible. Live for it. I say it out loud all the time. Yet I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. Keep talking. They don't like lags. Philippians 4:8 says, "Whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things."
That's one of my favorite verses, Abby.
It's one of the first verses one of the first verses. Isaiah 55, 8 and 9 were the first verses that I ever memorized, and I think that Philippians 4:8 might have been right behind that.
Good.
Yeah. And
Savannah says, Job 23:10 and 11 says, "But he knoweth the way that I take. When he hath tried me, I shall come forth as gold. My foot hath held his steps. His way have I kept and not declined." And Job was an interesting character for sure in the Bible, and an inspiration of fortitude and pressing forward. It's the one of the first verses, that Marcy showed you, Philippians 4:8. I think in the time we live, you have to learn how to think differently. I've heard Susan say this in recess 1,000 million times. You can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. With our third bag of confidence tonight, Susan has won an all expense trip paid to her refrigerator. So if you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. And so, man alive, if only that were true
I think I'm pretty good
all of the time.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good at
I don't know. Not all the time.
Caleb, what's something that you remember me and Dad saying to you kids a lot?
Nothing can separate us from the love of God. Shall distress,
right.
shall peril, shall mountain, shall nothing shall separate us from the love of God.
You can't always get what you want.
Yeah.
I seen that too.
I remember this singing that to Sam.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of one.
If there's not one that sticks out to you.
What about?
Remember when Dad would come in on Sunday mornings with a pot and pan, and it's time to rise and shine and give God the glory. Breakfast will be served at 8:30.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Carissa Wildman. My life verse is Psalm 138. Hey, Carissa. Good to see you, or good to see your name and your verse. Cause me to hear thy loving cause in thy morning.
It's a good one too.
For in the do I trust. Cause me to know the way wherein I should walk, for I lift up my soul unto thee. Carissa is an old friend from Hoosier Hills. Susan says, thanks. See you when I get back from the free trip to my refrigerator. He likes Philippians 4:8 as well. Brother Chris said in a sermon one time, God gives peace that overlooks the need to understand, and that just really stuck out to me. Yep, amen. And
another one that stuck out, delayed obedience is disobedience.
Yes.
Remember that?
That was yes, it was something
No,
that I
something
use,
is.
something we still use.
We still say that.
Delayed obedience is
We should
disobedience.
probably bring that one back.
Yep.
For
Thou
some.
wilt keep him in perfect peace. His mind is stayed on thee because he trusted
That's a
in
good
me.
one,
That's a
Jenny.
good one,
That's
Jenny.
good.
Abby says,
Did you see
Abby says, amen. Did I see who?
Clark Frenches?
Yeah, I put
Oh,
it
okay.
up on the screen.
All right, cool.
All right, what's a question? What is on the hearts and minds of the viewers? What is it that you would like to ask us? And let's see if we can rattle through some of them questions. Caleb, Shelby, myself, or Marcy. And especially for our special guests tonight. And they're so special.
Guest of our own.
Yeah.
I guessed in our own home.
They are thinking. We are thinking. This is why I do always I'm asking questions. But what is something? Alan's favorite word. Bizarro. I have new favorite words.
Carrie, it changes every couple months.
Yeah, because
Bizarro has been around for a long time. Bizarro World has
Bizarro
transformed
World, I remember
into
that
Bizarro.
what else are some of my favorite words? Not sayings. Some of them you can't say. What are some of my favorite words?
We need your T-shirt.
Yeah. Aaron, what are some of my favorite words? Aaron's always
He
dogging me
remembers.
about my favorite words.
I'm trying to think. What was?
I wouldn't eat that with your mouth.
Yeah, I do say that a lot of time about Shelby's cooking. So-
Whatever.
I wouldn't eat that with your mouth.
I had another one in my head, but it just slipped away.
Hey Tom, how are you doing? Hope you're doing
Sporty.
well. That's sporty. That's my new one.
Sporty.
Things are getting sporty out here. The weather's a little bit sporty.
I was wondering.
His attitude's a little
I was
sporty.
sitting here thinking Doug
Man,
and
this
Wayne must.
coffee is good.
Doug and Wayne must be asleep because they could come up with something.
Yeah. I also want to add another one. Oh, he said it was this way.
I only say that to Aaron.
That's funny.
Oh man.
Aw.
Dad turned us
That's
on
funny.
to
Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't
That's
care.
right.
I've not heard that one in a while.
Except I put a long pause in there.
What
Jimmy
is it
Crack
called?
Corn. Somebody will ask me, can we go? We're going to go do this. And I'll say, this is a face that looks like it cares. And then the other one I'll
The
say,
kids
it's
would
Jimmy
come
Crack
back.
Corn. And they'll
Kids
be
would
like,
come
oh,
back
yeah.
and say, I asked Dad and he said Jimmy Crack Corn.
Yeah. And I don't care.
Dad's favorite word was no growing up.
Yeah.
He was Mr. No.
Mr. No.
That's why I got all the questions. I probably only have like maybe 15% of my brain cells left.
Just enough.
Thanks for your service. Yeah. I know one that Aaron loves. Can't see it from my house. I'm not sure whose that was. And
Can't see it.
what was the other one?
Looks good.
Better than it was.
Oh, yeah,
Better than it was. And
Sorry, Aaron. I turned Clark onto those.
Clark says Aaron would say, it looks good from my house. I can't see it from my house. Juanita says her favorite verse
It's not a good one.
is Psalm 121, 1 and 2. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which make heaven and earth.
I don't believe it's this one. It's not.
Hmm?
I'm not sure.
He will
Suffer
not
the
say.
righteous to be named.
Yep.
Suffer the righteous
Good verse, Juanita. Is work busy for you? And we were talking to Natalie just a little bit ago about the place that you would go if you could go anywhere, and she said, I would just come home.
Yeah.
That would be it. Oh yeah, the bottom of it was there. My help coming from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer. Yeah. Oh, it is up there. All right. Oh, well, it's live TV. We're doing it. So we talking about that.
To add on to the Romans 12:1, where the renewing of your mind, one that I like, and I can't think of the actual verse right now, but commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established, which I turn to quite a bit, because I tend to overthink things. So to me, that's just simple. Just commit my works to the Lord, my thoughts will be established. I don't have to overthink this. So. Also, my dad would say, anytime we would go out to eat,
everybody, everywhere I go. This is a problem. This is a body language issue. So Candace says, I lectured a student recently about crossing their arms, and then I thought of you and how you used to lecture me about crossing my arms because it shows attitude. It's body language, and I'm always getting on to people about their body posture and their body language. Be accepting. Put your arms down. It says, don't come to me.
Sometimes I'm tired of my arms being down, and I just want them up here.
Well, you need to do what you're told. Juanita is works busy. I have been off due to possible COVID. Now it's ready to come home.
Natalie's very homesick.
Yeah, very homesick. How much longer, Natalie or Juanita, how much longer does Natalie have to serve?
April? That's what you told me, I think.
Next year.
Yeah. Uncross those arms, Candace.
Yeah. Lisa says, I love hearing on Sundays, this is the day the Lord made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.
I think that's one we don't do enough of.
Every day. Lisa, you remember when anytime we would ask Dad when we were going to go out to eat, we would say, well, where are we going? Where are we going? And he would always say, the cabbage house. Every time he would say we were going to the cabbage house. And I hated cabbage. None of us liked cabbage. But now I make a cabbage recipe with feta cheese and sausage, and I really like cabbage. It's weird.
Whenever the kids would ask us, where are we going, Alan would always say, wherever I go, that's where you're going.
Yeah. They would say, how long is it going to take to get there? And
Yeah.
I would say, you're going to be about 1 second behind me. That's what I would say.
We'd ask,
and then I would say, don't make me pull this van over. That's what I would say too.
we never experienced those words coming true until Sam came along.
Yeah, let's not go there. Everyone's body language. Yeah. It's 55% communication. So very important.
That's right,
See,
Mindy.
that's what Mindy says. 55% of your communication is just from your body language.
Mindy's communication classes were very helpful.
Yes, they were good.
Where would it be? Eric's question is, if we could go somewhere and sit down and eat, where would it be?
The Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse. That's where we would go.
No, that's where you would go.
Yeah. Where would you like to go, honey? Because that's where we will probably go.
No, we'll go to the Roadhouse for sure.
Does exist now. I can't wait to try it.
What? Lisa?
Chewy's for some of their jalapeno
Yes.
ranch stuff, maybe.
Yes.
It sounds real good.
And what's that?
We could order it, but
What was that chicken? What are they
it's
called?
nacho chicken stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy
I
what
can't think.
some parents have probably said to their kids. Where are we going? We're going
I would say
crazy.
crazy.
He always wanted to go crazy. Poor kid, yeah. Where would you guys go to eat? Where is the first place you're going to go to sit down and eat when you feel comfortable going to sit down and eat? Socially distanced and all that stuff. Somewhere with steak.
I do know.
Where?
Norma Jean.
Yeah. We've
already
been
been
through
there.
the drive-thru.
I know, but to go and
No,
sit
we don't
down
go there because that's...
to sit and eat.
Yeah, we do go there.
I was gonna say.
When me and the kids go, like during the day when everyone else is out working.
Yeah.
We'll go and get ice cream or some food, and we'll go in the back and sit at the tables, and then we play in the creek when
That's
we're done.
nice.
Look for rocks and walk through the cold water with our shoes off. It's lots
Where
of
would
fun.
you go?
The pregnant
I would
lady
like
needs
to-
Indian food. We would go to our local Indian food buffet.
Ooh, I don't think I've ever had Indian food.
I don't either.
Candace, summer with steak. Yes, I really like steak.
Lisa
he
says
does not like
Outback.
steak.
The exchange in New
Outback,
Albany.
yes.
Mindy said.
I would
The
I've heard that
exchange.
is
What
good.
what do they have there?
Tacos.
Tacos, Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
Calm down.
Calm yourself.
Mindy, the
Tacos.
exchange, that's where they were telling us to eat.
Yeah, I've never
Remember
been
when
there.
we
Yep.
were with them, they were saying, I don't remember
What do you
exactly.
guys
What do
I
they
think it's-
serve there, Mindy? What kind of foods at the exchange? Please do not. Let's not. Here we go.
What?
Back down the food road.
You started.
I know. I can't help it. I'm thinking about eating right
Aaron
now.
and his tacos.
Anywhere
Chinese.
Chinese.
I'm good.
I wouldn't eat that with your
I
mouth.
like- it's not Tuesday.
It's not Tuesday.
What's that?
A little bit of everything at the exchange. What?
What does it mean? It's not Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit
It
of
is?
everything.
No, it's
No,
Sunday.
it's Monday. Tomorrow's Tuesday.
No, it's this day, that day, and the other day.
I know. I'm losing my days.
Annabelle
Tuesdays
keeps
is
giving
my
me
day
her
with
ball.
like to hang out with Grace. And last Tuesday, I came to her house and I was taking Annabelle
it to
running, and she looked at me and she goes, "You forgot about me. It's like my night with you." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, it is Tuesday. I'm so sorry."
Where are
I'm a
Karen? Where are
terrible
you
mother-in-law.
working that they're bringing you
Yes.
food at? Where's Karen working at?
She works at one of the hospitals, I believe.
And they've been bringing in food. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's
Yes,
nice.
Shelby, we should be friends.
Yeah.
I think she works on the hospital.
Doug, I don't know what that is,
Slap
Doug.
face.
Mindy again.
Oh, slap your face. All right.
Shelby.
Hey, Doug.
Sorry,
Rude.
Shelby.
What did I say last week? Talking is my pastime.
Yeah.
One of my
And her
pastimes.
current
Yes.
time and her going to be time in just a
Every
minute.
day.
Every day we
tacos.
talk
Yes, that's
oh my
right,
gosh,
Aaron.
we had tacos like 4 days
Aaron,
a couple weeks
you
ago,
should
and
support.
I was done. having
You should
tacos.
support that post with Trust Builders for lunch tomorrow.
Oh, with
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
Put your taco where your mouth is, Aaron.
Let's talk about it. Oh,
This is live. Like, there's lots of people seeing this.
that's
And
okay.
and you can't rewind.
Norton Immediate Care Centers. Yep. And they
Okay.
brought you guys in food. That's pretty cool. When was the last time you experienced God in the ordinary? Personally or corporately, I guess I would ask. Nancy says avoid Chinese. I'm not a Chinese food person. We did go eat with Kevin and Lisa Lang, Kevin and Leanne Lang, and he has a sister named Lisa.
Oh, so that messes you up.
So we did go eat Chinese, and we had a good time. It was the only time I've ever eaten Chinese. Usually I take Taco Bell
Hey,
into
she's
the
trying to
Chinese
get you
restaurant.
out
Tammy's
of
trying to get
food.
you out of food, and you're still talking about food.
Yeah. When was the last time you experienced God in
the ordinary. And
the
stuff.
ordinary?
Ordinary every day.
Hey, Emily.
Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Emily is.
She's
I'd
about to
say,
get married.
like, to me, the first thing I thought of was like, I love to walk. I love to go outside on the horse trail and walk. And it's ordinary, I guess. It's something that I do a lot, but just getting in the woods, outside, in the quiet by myself. I like the exercise and I like being outside, but I love how it's quiet, and I always end up, communing, talking with God while I'm doing that.
Back to nature.
Yep, we do like the horseback riding, just being outside. We were in the ordinary. Nathan and I set Wednesday morning to turkey hunting as the sun was coming up. It was pretty cold. We were cold, but as the sun was coming up and the birds were beginning to wake, and I told him, I said, at any moment the turkeys are going to start gobbling. And all of a sudden, one gobbled in the different distance. And there were so many different types of birds and noises. Like, you miss those early in the morning if you don't get out in the woods and be quiet. And I think the Bible says, be still and know that I am God. And I was overwhelmed just for a moment about all of the different types of birds that were making noise in the morning. And I know there's types of birds, but just for a moment. And then he says, during my AM commute, when the sun is coming up, while I'm busy praising him through music. Yep.
Yes.
Well, Tammy, I think that was a really good question too, because right now I think there are so many distractions that have been pulled away, and the ordinary things have become more exaggerated, if you will, because there's less for us to do, and realizing and remembering that He is in those very ordinary things that we do. I remember when I was a young mom, and I was at home, with the kids, and just I remember reading something, and it more or less was saying, whether you're folding laundry, whether you're changing a diaper, whether you're washing dishes, for me, and I know it can be different for everybody, but I just remember at this point in my life thinking about how very ordinary my life seemed to be, but how God was still in those very ordinary things. And so I think that that's a good time to ask that question right now, because so many of us are, there are so many distractions that have been ripped away.
Distractions long for more ordinary moments.
I think, God's given us a time to maybe take a minute, but being alone and not being distracted is still because especially now, and in this day and age, we can be alone a lot, but have distractions the whole time, and have your mind still racing as fast as it was when you were doing stuff with people.
Can't put down technology.
No.
Can't stop feeding yourself instead of. I was going to say we've been talking about sayings and creeds and those kind of things. There's a couple more quotes that I say all the time. Wherever you go, there you are. And I'm always telling the kids that. But the other one is, wherever you are, be all there. And I think that being without distractions has helped me. And I've worked hard, though, at it as well, because I've got so much going on in my mind all the time. To be where I'm at, be all there in a conversation with somebody, and on a phone call, in my Bible, in prayer time, and that's probably where I'm most distracted, but in my prayer time, but just being all there, giving my all to that moment where I'm at, and experiencing God in that.
We're very much my grandpa Ball is in his upper 60s, and he just goes until 10, 11 o'clock at night, and he falls asleep, and he gets up and goes the next day, and then
Grandma goes, Grandpa goes.
We've been building an addition on my Grandpa Tom's house, and just watching him, was funny, because it's the same way, and he don't
piddles.
He don't have as much to do, and so if he's not doing anything, like today, you'll see him a couple of hills over, he's just standing over there walking in circles, so for me, it's something that I can be alone, but I have to keep my mind. And it's funny, when I have that moment of silence, it seems like God is always there. Mm-hmm. But, and in that moment, I long for it more and more, but we forget about it.
We're very much a body in motion seems to stay in motion. And
I have been more tired since this quarantine has hit than before it hit. That's just, we've been wired that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, just go and go and go and go, and until something breaks, and then we rest until it's fixed, and then we go and go and go and go, and that's how.
Until it's sort of fixed.
Yeah, that's how it seems to work.
But I think I very much enjoy the nature, God's creation, very, very much. The animals, the trees, the woods,
the sky.
Especially the sky.
The
yes,
sky.
Yes. I'm always talking about the sky, but the Lord is in the ordinary things. He makes the ordinary things extraordinary. If we just sit and watch and listen, we can learn a lot from His creation. In Aaron's sermon that he talked about yesterday, in Proverbs 30, if you guys go back and read Proverbs 30, but he talked about, little as much when God is in it. I mean, is that what I said that right. Okay, sorry. Little as much when God is in it. He talked about the ants and how they're so tiny. I mean, I was a biology major, so maybe this just, is in my blood or whatever, but just being able to have the time to sit, committing my works to the Lord, my thoughts shall be established. That's His promise to us. And then also going back and being able to have time to if we open up our Bible and we start reading, there are so many promises that the Lord has given us. It's amazing. He just makes the ordinary extraordinary.
We are, because I think most people get in a routine of getting up and going, you know, and are pushing the snooze bar until it's time to go.
Yeah.
Instead of making some time, carving out some time, even if you make coffee in the morning, to sit for a minute and to ponder a thought, to read a proverb, to have a devotion. I know there are different guys doing devotions in the mornings. Curtis Clifton is doing a devotion every morning. I think it's like 3 minutes, and you can log on and watch his devotion. He's at Maranatha Baptist Church there in Jeffersonville. But just giving God a moment, you know, because little is much when God is in it, and you can give him a moment and then have a big encounter, you know, with the Lord. Amen.
Emily Keaton, are you still there? Good
She's
afternoon.
getting married soon.
Hi, Terry.
Every time I see Terry's going to have to change his name. I have to just say, "Get back, Terry!"
Oh, man.
Terry, I don't remember
Yes,
if you were in on this, but I remember this time at Foley Outfitters where a game was set up on a computer where you click this little red button, and you all thought it was really funny to scare the living bejeebies out
How
of me.
old were you?
I was like 10.
Yeah.
Aw, poor babe.
Oh gosh.
I still remember that.
He had nightmares for
Very-
2 weeks.
What was the movie Sam had nightmares over?
The
Jaws?
Blob.
Jurassic
No,
Park.
Jurassic
Oh,
Park.
Jurassic
I was the
Park.
blob.
Oh, you were the
The
blob.
Blob.
And then this guy has nightmares over the Bird movie.
I'm not a bird fan.
His was Jaws.
Dirty birds.
But he, yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, amen. I'm here.
Is the wedding still on, Emily? Is everything
It's
like
because
coming
of
together?
COVID.
Yeah,
Because of the
what are your
Not
coronavirus?
plans?
because of love, but
What
because
are you
of
doing,
COVID.
Emily?
You guys have plans yet?
Yeah,
Wait,
Aaron,
20
that's
seconds.
so right.
Yeah, you're right.
What you and I couldn't in a life.
Makes a good message.
It does.
Terry says I don't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's all he does. Oh man. We'll let Emily respond so everybody can know that the wedding is still on and her
I'm pretty
and
sure
her
it
fiance
is.
are still in love. But how is the wedding going to take place? Like live or a closed group, or how is that going to happen?
A lot of people that had weddings this year, they either got pushed to the fall or pushed to next year.
Would you have waited to marry me? Or would you have just said we're going to the Justice of the Peace?
I don't know. We
That
probably
would've
would have
been-
went to the courthouse.
Yes. Yes,
He
we will.
says yes. And then you can just have your reception later, you know?
Yes.
If people remember. Hopefully you don't get less gifts because it's a year later, though.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's about.
Well, I mean.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we're done for tonight, and that's a good note to end on. We thank you guys for tuning in, and like I said, tomorrow night will be the ladies' Bible study. If you're a lady on here and you're interested in being a part of that tomorrow night at 6, you can message me on Facebook, and I'll put you into the private group. If you are, we'll have service Wednesday night at 6 as well. We're getting back into more of a service routine, and so that will be more and more. Be sure you have your Bibles and your pens and be ready to study. And then we'll be back Sunday morning, Sunday night, and carrying on until we're back together. And then we'll see what goes on from there.
Annabelle.
Annabelle likes to talk.
Yep. We love you, and we thank you for tuning in. And we will see you again. Everybody wave bye
Love
until I
you.
can
See
get to
y'all.
finish.
Emily,